6 hours a day of screen time. What in the world, right? Because of that, you're seeing certain trends come back. That's fascinating to me. And I think open relationships are one of them. That's super prevalent more than ever now, at least in recent times. And polygamy. It's just being talked about regularly. Why? Any ideas why? Like, I get it. I get. Okay, so like I understand in terms of like a sexual attraction. I'm not a fool. I'm a man. Like I get it. But at the same time, I'm not interested. For me personally, in my relationship, it ain't a thing. It's not even like something I have to bring up because it's a given. And we've already in other ways inadvertently we're pretty clear about that in terms of our relationship. Now you hinted at that earlier for you and your relationship, but why do you think this cultural shift is happening specifically so recently, but also so strongly?
I think I think I think I like the idea that that old saying. I think it's tough times make strong men, good times make weak men. I think the times are good. I think like the threats to our livelihoods are has never been lower. I think, aside from all the debt that people would go take on to go get jobs, like it's once you get some type of credentials. I mean, even if you don't get credentials now, you can go into the trades and get a job. Like jobs are everywhere, food is everywhere, supermarkets are everywhere, travel's everywhere. Like, we're living in really good times. And I think what people are seeking more is more pleasure, right? And so they're giving in to more and more pleasure. Sadly, I think you're seeing a shift. They say, the more you expose yourself to something, the high isn't as strong, and so you need to go to further extremes to get more of the pleasure that you're seeking, right? And I think we're moving away from the pleasure of taking our kids out to the park and running and playing soccer, right? Like I won't do that because that takes a ton of effort. But I'd like to open my marriage up to to mainline my pleasure into my vein by a Friday night going out with someone else other than my spouse, right? And and so I think it's just an insatiable pursuit of more and more pleasure. And again, it's way more nuanced than that, and I tend to stay in my lane. I talk about relationships between two people, committed relationships, and how to repair them. And again, I'm very much like you. It's not even polyamory, open marriages and stuff like that. It's not even on my radar personally. So professionally, it doesn't really occupy a whole lot of my time. I don't dedicate any time to it on social media. There's other experts and other people that live in that constantly. But I think if I were to just answer your question, I would say I think it's just it people want to mainline more pleasure into their veins and seek out even more pleasure.
Mm. Caroline Fraser is a bodybuilder, and she used an expression I loved. Told her I would steal it, called super normal stimuli. Is kind of what you're talking about, like highly sugar, high calorie dense foods that are just like not normal, but super normal stimuli, and then getting the regular sweet potato with butter doesn't seem the same, doesn't taste it, kind of thing, right? And I think it's, I guess, the same way with screen time, pornography being on the rise, you know, like never before. I mean, every year they're lowering the average age. I think it's like 13 now, which is a, which is just absurd. Do you see a lot of that and deal with a lot of that between some of the couples that you've worked with?
I definitely see a lot of influence of porn, and again, I see porn as just another form of self-soothing behavior, and I see a lot of that impacting sexuality and the physical intimacy between a couple. And I mean, among other things, I think it's a lot more complicated. I think I get a lot of people reaching out saying my husband's addicted to porn and has nothing left for me, has no desire of me intimately. And I think it's way more nuanced than that. It's not just because he's using porn. It then goes back into, what's wrong with your emotional connection that he is seeking out porn to inject that pleasure into his system. What is he not doing in the relationship to build more pleasure inside your relationship that he needs to go to porn, right? So it's far more nuanced than that, but I see definitely porn as like not so much a cause, but definitely more a symptom of a decayed emotional connection and ultimately physical connection between a couple. So yeah, it's we just live in an age now where it's like self-stimuli. I mean, now these days some people don't even leave their house. Like some people wake up, log onto the computer, work remotely, finish at 5, 6 o'clock. Uber Eats is right around the corner, and then they watch Netflix. Like maybe they get half an hour of vitamin D a day, right? So I'm like, good luck with that. Like that's not really gonna foster, a fulfilling life or a deep sense of fulfillment, right?
What's going on, guys? If you like that clip right there, you will love the full interview. You can check that out right there. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and subscribe because we got a lot of big things coming up in the near future.